That one's hot.
It's got a kick.
Is that better? Is that what you wanted? Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Across the Fence. I'm Joleil Whitney. On today's program, we're eating lunch along with you. We're taking a page from another show to bring you a spicy interview, literally. Hot Ones is a YouTube interview show produced by First We Feast. Celebrities answer questions about their careers while eating increasingly spicy wings. The Hot Ones YouTube channel has over 14.5 million subscribers, and today we're doing something similar with what we're calling Vermont Ones, and that's a hat tip to Emmy, a friend of Claire Silva, our producer's daughter, who suggested the name. Butterfly Bakery is based in Barrie, and this is their third time with a hot sauce featured on the show. The founder, CEO, owner, and creator of these hot sauces is our guest today, Claire George. She brought along a wide selection of sauces. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thanks. I'm excited to be here.
We're happy to have you, and we're happy to try some of these sauces. But first, I want to know a little bit more about you and about your bakery. So this isn't your first time on the show. How did that partnership come about?
Yeah, so we started as a bakery, but we've been making hot sauces since about 2011. And the Heatnist, who is the folks who choose the hot sauces for Hot Ones, they approached us years ago just about selling to them, and we've had this long-standing relationship since maybe about 2015 with them. So our first Hot One sauce was our smoked onion hot sauce, Maplewood smoked onion. That was in 2018 on season 7, and that was really exciting and a lot of fun, and it was a lot of years until our next Hot Ones hot sauce, which was our Taco Vibes Only sauce. And then this time we're on season 26 with our newest sauce, Hot House. And it's really good, really excited. I'm excited to have you try it.
I'm excited too. And so what has it done for you guys being on this big national stage like this? Hot Ones is a huge show.
Yeah, it's great. Hot Sauce is having a moment clearly right now, and there's this wave, and we kind of got in right at the beginning of it. So we're often recognized nationally as being kind of one of the like O.G. sauce brands in the kind of modern craft hot sauce world. It is really great. And we're generally known for our flavors, and that flavor, of course, comes straight from Vermont soil, which is really great too.
And bakery is in your name, so how did you make the jump to hot sauce?
Yeah, so we started out as a bakery, natural foods bakery. It was just me doing it by myself for a lot of years in like a middle of the night rented kitchen. And then right around 2011, things were slowing down for us. We were trying to figure out what to do. I'm a constant experimenter. I always like to try new things. And so I was experimenting with baked goods at the farmer's market. So I tried making chocolate cake and macaroons and just other sweet bakery things. And sometimes I would sell great, sometimes they wouldn't. If they didn't, I would trade with farmers at the farmers market for what they had left over, and often they would have chili peppers left over because they actually grow really well in Vermont, but there wasn't a huge market for them back then. So I'd get a bunch of chili peppers, and what else do you do with a bunch of chili peppers besides make hot sauce? So I'd make hot sauce, I would sell that at the next farmers market, and then that would sell out. And then that kept happening, and finally I was like, maybe I should figure out how to get my own chili peppers. Yeah.
All right, and we're going to try these wings in just a second, but before we get into it, Scoville is kind of a word that people talk about a lot when kind of ranking sauces by how spicy they are. So is that an exact science?
So technically it is an exact science, but in the way that people use it, it is pretty meaningless. So Scoville was first started out with the idea of how much do you have to dilute something to before you can no longer perceive the spice. So it was all subjective. They have since turned it into an actual scientific thing. They can actually measure the capsaicin oil counts, parts per million sort of thing, and come up with the Scoville number. Scovilles are nice as a kind of a general idea of like, if you have a really high number, this is going to be really hot. And if you have a lower number, it's not going to be as hot. But there's so many more things about the perception of heat besides that Scoville count.
All right, well, let's jump into it. We're starting with our most mild sauce. Tell me, is it Mellows Vibe Only?
Yes, Mellow Vibes Only Taco Hot Sauce. So this is the mild version of our hottest one that we'll have today, our Taco Vibes Only. This is taco spice, so it's cumin, coriander, garlic. It's got red serrano peppers, Carmen peppers. This is actually our first milder sauce that we do in our main hot sauce line. Some people say it tastes like Taco Bell medium.
All right, well, let's give it a try. Yeah. All right, we got a good amount on here too.
Yeah. Oh, these chicken wings are great.
Oh, they are. This is a good sauce.
Thank you very much.
All right, wow. And I want to thank Matt and Evan at the deli in Essex Junction. They provided us with these.
That's great.
So how does this one rank? You said it was one of your more mild ones?
Yes. Yeah, so this is, we would call this a 2 on our heat scale. We go from 0 to 6. We even have a 0 sauce. But this is our 2. That most of our sauces fall in the 3 range, so our next 2 are going to be in the 3 range. We have a bunch of other sauces that are fall in that 3 range too. That's kind of what I call a jalapeno range. Our jalapenos are a lot spicier than the jalapenos that you see out in the mass market, because most of the jalapenos out in the world are a varietal called an early jalapeno, and it's a really mild jalapeno. It's that kind of American jalapeno that we all have been like, this has no heat at all to it. And they're grown specifically for salsa, so that salsa makers can control the mild, medium, hot level. It doesn't taste particularly good, so it's not a varietal we use. So we use a bunch of other varietals that have the heat level that jalapenos are originally supposed to have.
All right, well, let's get to wing 2. I'm already in trouble because I was feeling that one a little bit. So this is a heady topper one. Let's try it, and then you could tell me how that partnership came about. That's a good one.
Thank you very much.
So you work with another big brand heady topper. How did that start?
Yeah, so we work with we do a lot of collaborations. Really love our collaborations with The Alchemist. We've been with them for a really long time before we even got onto a larger stage. And we do this green heady topper one. It's one of our most popular sauces. We also do some exclusively for them that they sell in their shop, our red heady and our local banger made with their focal banger. And they're really great. They've been really supportive to us over the years. Jen and John are just really fabulous people to work with.
All right, we need to make good time here because I want to get to all of them. But quickly, is there anything here you want to highlight? You've chosen 5 good ones that we're tasting, but you have a huge selection, as people can see. Is there anything else you want to point out?
We've got, these are all the ones I brought here today are our big batch hot sauces that we sell in stores all over the place. We also do micro batches, and so we're constantly changing and doing different ones. We just released one a couple days ago, strawberry basil, strawberries and basil that we got over the summer and made into a sauce later. Really good with like egg rolls and stuff like that.
Great.
So we're constantly changing stuff and constantly doing stuff, but then there's also the staples that you can count on that we're going to always have.
All right, great. Speaking of staples, let's move on to number 3. Tell me, this is a Maplewood smoked onion, is that right?
Yes, so this was from season 7 of Hot Ones.
Okay.
And these, here, we'll take a bite.
Yeah. You can taste the smoke.
So we get Walla Walla onions, which are a naturally very sweet onion. And then we smoke them, Maplewood smoked them in our own smoker. And there's so much sugar naturally in the onion that it like caramelizes. And we sometimes get complaints that this hot sauce is too sweet, which is hilarious because the only sweetener is onion. And it's really good on kind of everything. It's a really good daily driver kind of sauce because of that onion supportive flavor, the natural sweetness. Those red jalapenos are really delicious. Yeah, this is, if I could only eat one hot sauce for the rest of my life, Maplewood smoked onions it.
Okay, and what's your process making them? We've only got a couple minutes, but how do you get it started?
So I'm constantly experimenting. I can taste flavors in my head, so I'll usually...
That's helpful.
Yeah, it is. It's really helpful. It really makes the process a lot faster. So I'll just start with something that sounds interesting. I'll kind of mentally walk through my freezer, I'll mentally walk through the farmer's market or a grocery store, kind of start with one idea and then build off of that.
All right, now we're picking things up a little bit with our 4th one.
Yes.
This is the Hot House hot sauce.
Yes.
So what goes into this one?
So this one is our most number of ingredients of any sauces we do. We've got a 5-pepper blend, which is Carmen's, which are sweet pepper, red serranos. We've got habaneros, ghost peppers, and reapers as a chili pepper blend. We have tomatoes in there. We have cilantro and dill, so it's very herbaceous. So it's very suggestive of the garden of the hot house.
Not just spicy, but also flavorful.
It's really flavorful and surprisingly versatile for how complex of a flavor it has.
All right, let's try it. I see what you mean with all the flavor. This one's getting a little spicy.
It sneaks up on you too. It kind of keeps going.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Something to look forward to.
It's the one I'm noticing on this season of Hot Ones that they they'll be like, oh, I'm good. And then they'll be like, oh, okay.
I feel the same way. So do you think when it gets this level of spicy, is it like a little more for novelty, or do you see people using this day to day?
This isn't even novelty level in any way. Like novelty is when you're talking about extracts and stuff like that. Any of these heat levels, it's really just about your tolerance and your preference. And one thing about like the next one we'll have, the Taco Vibes Only, it's really hot. Like it is really hot. But there are chili heads for whom this is their daily heat level. This is what they enjoy, and they also want flavor.
Sure.
Just because they're a chili head and they like heat doesn't mean that they want only heat. And so that was really our goal with developing the sauce. We knew it was going to be a number 9 from the beginning. We were aiming for that heat level, but we wanted to bring flavor as well.
All right. Speaking of which, we're almost out of time, so let's give it a try. And true to Hot Ones fashion, we'll do a last dab, which is when you add a little bit of extra. Here, do you mind if I add yours as well?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh man, I regret doing that.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm starting to sweat a little bit, so let's give it a shot.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, there it is.
Wow. So can you grow peppers for something like this in Vermont?
Oh yeah. So 100% of the produce that we buy is grown within 200 miles of our kitchen. Almost all of that is within Vermont. 80% of our ingredients by weight are sourced from small farms within 200 miles. That's a good build there. And so yeah, we get Reapers, we get jalapenos, habaneros, serranos, Carmens, ghost peppers, Armageddons, Vipers, all sorts of peppers. Right here in Vermont. There are ones that we can't grow as well. Scotch bonnets don't grow as well. But we work with about a dozen farms around the state of Vermont to grow what we want them to grow. And they are great, and we couldn't do without them.
Yeah, that's incredible. Is this as hot as it gets?
We actually do have one that's hotter. That's not part of our main lineup. It's a red ghost reaper.
Wow.
And it is just ghost peppers and reapers, and it's pretty brutal.
I'm sure it's good, but I'm glad you didn't bring it in.
Me too.
All right, well, that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
This was great.
If you or someone you know, could be a friend or an enemy, want to have some of their own Hot Ones style competition, you can visit Butterfly Bakery at their location in Barrie or at the website on your screen. Butterfly Bakery also makes traditional goat's milk caramel, granola, and cookies in case you prefer something sweet. That takes care of our program for today. I want to thank the crew behind the scenes here who always keep it hot. I'm Joleil Whitney. This is Across the Fence. Have a good one. Okay. We did it!